Time is everything. Time is one of the world's gifts given by the Maker himself. In fact, time is life itself. The very moment you're born into this world, you began to click on time. And so at every breath that you take in and exhale, you're adding to the number of time you've accumulated. And of course, you're going towards the time that you will be accumulating, depending on how the Maker has already pre-planned for you, or destined, as they say. Some people call it time being money. They measure it by money, but it's much more than that. Because the usage of time is determinant of what you make of it in life. When you breathe in time at each point of your life, you're actually saying, I'm either increasing or I'm decreasing. It becomes clearer as you become wiser as an adult and ready to take up responsibility of your life. You begin to see the need for the use of time in a proper manner in order to bring blessings or destruction to you. So time, when utilized, becomes an advantage to the user, and when unutilized or disutilized, becomes a problem to the user. The idea and the whole concept of time that has been given to man is not intended that man will become afraid. But then time is like the canvas that has been put by the world's masterpiece artist, asking you to sit down and make the drawings of what you want to become in time. You see, we're so quick to thinking that destiny means that the Maker just sits down and controls you and makes you become like a robot. But the truth of it, you are part of whatever becomes of you, even as time goes on. So success, happiness, and growth is determinant on how you utilize this time. Time comes out as money for those that understand how investment is very important. And so at the tick of every time, they invest what should come back to them to become money. And then these are the people that at the end of the day, you find out will say they are living well. Every morning when you wake up, you are leaving minutes that you would never get back. So when you lose it, it becomes that you have lost some material things that you never can understand. They say time wasted is as good as money wasted, is as good as scholarship wasted, is as good as your ambition and vision wasted. You need to see time from the way or from the perspective that it ought to be. No one is expected to waste his time or her time, because it never returns to you once it's spent. You see, money when lost can be regained. Material things when lost can be regained. In fact, relationship when lost can be regained. But when time is lost, you might never and you will never regain it unless by some divine help that it becomes compressed. But the truth of it, each minute that has been lost remains lost, because you cannot turn the hand of the time back into beginning from the start. What do you do when you wake up each morning in order to utilize this time that we're talking about? You must see it as your walking tool that never ever stops. You are never in control of the time, but you can maximize the use of that time, because the owner that is in charge of that time is one that is above all beings. There is no moment as important as the now time. Even when we talk about time in the perspective of now, present, or the past, and even in the future, the now time is always very, very important. Do not waste even the now, because you are totally in control of this now and not even the next minute. When now appears to you, take your time to use it maximally. Now is the appointed time given unto you. It is now that you can express your gifting. It is now that you can express your love. It is now that you can show your friendship. It is now that you can do the investment that is required. After now, you can't predict it until it becomes yours even in the future. Time would always be everything. You know, one mystery about time is the fact that it's the same 24 hours given to the richest man in the world and the poorest man in the world. The healthiest man in the world and the unhealthiest person in the world. The most frivolous man in the world or woman, and the one that utilizes it in the world. Time judges everyone equally. It does not come to the one that utilizes it well more than it comes for the one that doesn't. It comes equally. It's all dependent on who decides to make good use of it or not. So when you have time, you must know that time itself is just. There is no injustice with it. It's being given to you and I without favor or fear. It just comes for us to make use of it in order to become a blessing, first to ourselves and humanity. I speak to you today to understand that if you do not pick and understand the concept of time, you might have yourself to regret. Some have used so much time in investing outside without giving so much for the family. And by the time they get to the zenith of their life and the peak of whatever they must have achieved, they look back and realize that they would have or should have entertained some space of that time in showing love to those that we thought that we were working for. And by then it would have been too late. God bless you.